Hi guys, welcome to this week's SD Weekly. We are so excited. We have a special guest with us here this week. Her name is Kenzie and she is here all the way from Honduras actually. Her and her family have a ministry in Honduras called Healing Honduras. And we're going to talk with her a little bit more on that in just a moment.
We know Kenzie because she's actually a student at Austin Bible Institute, which we recently mentioned in one of our last videos. And we're really excited from Shaping Destiny's point of view is that we're going to be partnering with Kenzie more to pour into her, to guide her and mentor her because the Lord is doing some really exciting things. And so that's what we'll be talking about today. So Kenzie, you and your family have been living in Honduras for how long now?
2 years.
2 years.
A little more than 2 years.
Cool. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you guys do out there?
So we were called in October of 2006 and we moved there to help this clinic kind of get up and running. It was it's a Church of God clinic, but they didn't have anyone to run it and it had just opened, and so they asked us to come and help get it open. They had trouble opening it, but when they did, they needed help. So we moved there. My mom is in the medical field, and so we're currently in the process of trying to get equipment there to sustain the clinic more and to get more revenue for the clinic. We have trouble with raising enough money for it, so we need more revenue. But our main thing is we're trying to cater to the poor. There's not a real option on the island for medical care. They have a public hospital and a private hospital. The public one is just really run down. It's really hard to treat people. They just don't have the money. The government doesn't support them enough for them to support the people. So they can't even get the basic supplies they need. So it's hard to go there, and then the private hospital is too expensive for the poor people. So we really want to be the middle ground where we only charge $6 for a consult and they get most of their medications free. So we really want to be there to help the poor people, to give them a place to go. And we eventually, our long-term vision is to have hopefully like a small hospital and to have especially emergency and urgent care. The clinic is actually was started under the name of a young boy who passed away from head trauma because he had nowhere to go. And this was many years ago, but that's why the clinic was built in his name. So that's our long-term goal, is to have an emergency care as well. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome, Kenzie. So how long do you think that you and your family will be staying in Honduras and ministering to the people there?
I think that it'll be long-term. I plan to stay probably forever. Because of course, it's as long as the Lord, leads me, and I don't know if He'll lead me somewhere else to another country, but I've always seen myself as a missionary, and I always want to be a missionary, so I imagine I'll be there probably for a very long time. I don't plan coming home.
That's wonderful. That'll become your new home.
Yeah.
Essentially.
It is already, yeah.
That's really, really cool. And it's really cool for us, whether we're with Shaping Destiny or with the different leadership at Austin Bible Institute, to have a student like Kenzie that really feels that you're called by the Lord and that you've moved there, you live here day in and day out with the people. Something that we really think is awesome about Kenzie is that she wants to further herself. She wants to gain knowledge and gain understanding. You're currently enrolled in a Bachelor's of Christian Ministry with a focus on ministry to orphans and vulnerable children. And you're relatively new. You're a newer student with us. Tell us a little bit about your experience with ABI.
So I started August of last year, and I have enjoyed it so much. I've learned so much, and the main thing that I've learned, I think, is that just to further your relationship with the Lord is the most important thing, and just the knowledge that I'm gaining, and like just even from when I started, the knowledge of the Bible that I've been able to gain, and just how much more I've learned from just the things from the teachers, from you, and from just the information in the class. It's been really awesome. I love it. I enjoy it so much. It's been a great school. It's the best school I've found.
Well, it's an honor for us to have students like you, because I was telling you a little bit earlier that we see as Shaping Destiny and with ABI really pouring into the next generation or to other leaders like yourself is what our heart is. And Danielle and I are examples of that as well. We both are enrolled at Austin Bible Institute. We both have been mentored with Shaping Destiny. And because of you and because of other students like you in our program, we're able to do more than we could ever do by ourselves.
Right.
And so it's a huge honor for us to have a student like you, especially on the field and on the ground.
Yeah.
And knowing where God is leading you and really obeying. So that's really great.
That's another thing I think is like being in Honduras, and I've been, since I was 10, but having learned so much from the classes and then being able to use it and apply it and being able to see how it works within, being on the mission field. And I know that's just going to come more as I take the specific orphan class, but I know that's going to be seen so much because I've been able to work with a lot of kids at the school and teach, and so anyway.
That's great.
Yeah.
So if you guys have been watching any of our recent SD Weekly videos, we've been talking a lot about, as well as orphan care and different ministry aspects of Shaping Destiny, that another area that we're really passionate about is leadership development. And so Kenzie's a great example of that. Through our training with Austin Bible Institute, as well as on a more personal basis, Kenzie's reached out to us and it's like, look, the Lord is doing something in my life, in my heart. I have this calling to step into more developing an orphan care ministry in Honduras. Can you guys help me? Can you guys give me guidance and wisdom? And one, I think that reflects a lot about who you are, your character, and your teachability. And that's something that Shaping Destiny loves to do. So we've talked about our leadership development and mentoring and training. And this is a perfect example of that. Somebody reaching out and saying, can you talk with me a few times a month? Or can you send me any resources? Or what's your advice about specific situations? And that way we're able to continue developing leaders like you, whether it's within our school, as well as even after you finish our program, encouraging you and supporting you in that way. And so Kenzie's a great example of that. And if there's other people like her out there, if you're interested in getting more mentoring or learning about leadership or spiritual disciplines or orphan care ministries or whatever, that's definitely something Shaping Destiny is wanting to embrace and take in more people. And so we're going to have a link in the description more about our leadership development and different ways you guys can go ahead and get involved in that.
So, Kenzie, as you continue to learn more at ABI specifically about orphans and the best practices in orphan care, what is your vision for the future for you or your family in Honduras to minister to the orphans in your community?
I think as we talked this morning, I'm gaining more insight as we go, as we move along, but I'm not completely sure at the moment. I'm still new in the learning process, but I hope the more that I learn from ABI, I hope that'll give me more insight on what I can, and boil it down to what I can focus on and what I want to be, what I'm going to do for my ministry. So I really want to start with possibly an orphanage if that's needed, and I think right now, as I've heard from my pastors in my community, that is needed in my where I'm at. The orphanages that we have on the island are farther away from our little community, and we do have a need for it. I know there are kids, that need something like that. So I'm hoping also to do more like you were talking about community development, and that started back when I talked to you a long time ago about it. Just kind of going into the community and trying to get them to take in their own children. But also maybe we talked about having like a transitional home or whatever. However that looks, we'll see as the Lord moves in my life. But I know it'll be awesome. I know He's gonna do something through it. So I'm really excited to see where it goes and how it transforms, especially through ABI and all the stuff I'm learning. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's really, really exciting for us. And we're hoping that you can learn from the mistakes that we've made, the lessons we've learned, the observations. Shaping Destiny's been around for a little over 10 years now. And so we haven't done a lot of things perfect, but God is using us and growing us and teaching us. And so we would rather save you or other students like you the trouble of learning it, struggling through it. And hey, learn from us, because we're finally on the right path, and we're seeing our ministry grow. And a lot of you watching this video get the opportunity to be really encouraged and inspired by the stories we have, and a lot of you are enabling our work to be done. And so your work doesn't stop just with the children in our programs or with the people in Cameroon, but by partnering with Shaping Destiny, you get to even partner with people like Kenzie and the ministries and the work that she's really doing. And I just think that's an awesome illustration of like the body of Christ and the church, and how we all have different parts and aspects that way. And so thank you, Kenzie, for joining us on this SD Weekly. Kenzie again. Well, we're honored to have you. Kenzie again works with Healing Honduras Ministries, and we're going to have a link to their Facebook and their website if you guys wanted to find out more about that. And hopefully we'll be able to be following up with you in the near future and sharing with the audience what you're up to in a little bit.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys, again for joining us for this week's SD Weekly. We hope you guys enjoyed having Kenzie with us here today as much as we did. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share these videos with others so that others can find out about Shaping Destiny, about ABI, and about what Kenzie's doing in Honduras. Thanks, guys. Have a good week.
Bye.